In a nation where more than 1 billion people are striving for a better life, and millions yearn for the independence offered by their own set of wheels, the sight of a gleaming Tesla gliding through the lanes of Mumbai feels like a vision from the future. For decades, the very idea was confined to glossy advertisements and scenes from Hollywood blockbusters. But now, with Tesla's official entry into India, a new chapter in the country's automotive story is being written, one that's both exhilarating and filled with uncertainties. This moment has sent ripples across India's economic and technological circles. In the marble-floored boardrooms of Mumbai's financial district and the bustling co-working spaces of Bengaluru's startup scene, the arrival of Tesla is the talk of the town. Yet, for the typical Indian consumer, someone who relies on a Maruti or a Tata to navigate crowded city streets, a Tesla remains a distant aspiration, as unattainable as a sky-high penthouse overlooking the Arabian Sea. So how did we arrive at this crossroads? And what does Tesla's Indian adventure mean for the country's automotive and economic future? Will India truly join the global electric vehicle revolution? Or is this just another detour on the long road to mass-market electrification? To appreciate the magnitude of this development, let's rewind and examine India's automotive landscape. India is now the world's third-largest automotive market, trailing only behind China and the United States. This is not a recent achievement. It has been built over decades of incremental growth, policy shifts, and entrepreneurial hustle. Cars in India are more than mere modes of transport. They are badges of progress, freedom, and rising social status. For many, the purchase of a family car marks a major milestone, often funded by years of savings and anticipation. But despite this enormous potential, India has been a fortress that global automakers have found notoriously difficult to conquer. The reasons are multi-layered. At the heart of it lies a tapestry of economic policies, infrastructural gaps, consumer habits shaped by scarcity, and a regulatory maze that only the boldest dare to navigate. One of the biggest hurdles has been India's import regime. The government has imposed eye-popping tariffs on imported vehicles, especially on fully built electric vehicles. Some of these tariffs soar as high as 70%. Add to this a luxury tax of 30% on imported high-end vehicles, and the total cost can become astronomical. To put these numbers in perspective, a Tesla Model Y that might cost less than $45,000 in the American market ends up costing nearly $70,000 in Mumbai, after duties, taxes, and logistics. That's almost double the price tag, and for most Indians, more expensive than a family apartment in the city. Vivek Vaidya, global client leader for mobility at Frost & Sullivan, sums it up. The most popular cars in India sell for about 1/10 of the price of a Tesla Model Y. This is no mass-market introduction. In rupee terms, the Model Y is priced beyond the reach of all but the wealthiest, underlining the chasm between aspiration and attainability. Yet, the Indian government is not standing by idly. Determined to reduce its sky-high oil import bills and battle the severe air pollution choking its cities, policymakers have rolled out a spectrum of ambitious initiatives. The faster adoption and manufacturing of hybrid and electric vehicle scheme, now in its second phase, provides generous subsidies to both manufacturers and buyers of electric vehicles. The Production-Linked Incentive, or PLI scheme, is designed to supercharge local manufacturing of electric vehicles and their components, aiming to make India a hub for both domestic consumption and export. States are joining in too. Maharashtra, India's wealthiest state, has announced an additional 15% subsidy for electric vehicles registered before December of the year 2025. Such state-level incentives are crucial in a federal system, as they create a patchwork of local policies that can either accelerate or impede the spread of new technology. However, subsidies and incentives only go so far. India's charging infrastructure is still embryonic. While the metropolises of Mumbai, Bengaluru, and New Delhi boast a growing network of charging stations, most of the country remains underserved. Outside these urban centers, the fear of being stranded without a charge, so-called range anxiety, is a powerful deterrent. In smaller cities, towns, and villages, the lack of reliable charging options compounds the challenge. Battery materials like lithium, cobalt, and nickel are in short supply domestically, forcing India to rely on imports, often from countries with volatile geopolitical climates. The government's phased manufacturing plan, aiming to localize a significant portion of electric vehicle components by the year 2028, is a positive step. But the clock is ticking, and competition is intensifying. It is in this complex environment that Tesla has made its move. The company has opted for a top-down strategy, targeting India's ultra-wealthy elite first, a tried and tested playbook. In China, Tesla first sold its cars to the affluent classes in Shanghai and Beijing before expanding to broader segments. In the United States and Europe, Tesla's earliest customers were well-heeled technophiles, eager to embrace the future of mobility. India, however, is a different beast. Here, the average car buyer is not just looking for status, but for ruggedness, fuel efficiency, and reliability. Cars are often kept in the family for a decade or more. Kavan Mukhtyar, partner at PwC India, explains. Tesla's brand cachet can certainly attract early adopters, but sustained success will depend on the company's ability to localize and compete on price. Tesla's Mumbai store is a spectacle, minimalist design, interactive digital screens, and a Silicon Valley vibe that sets it apart from the country's more utilitarian dealerships. The clientele includes Bollywood stars, venture capitalists, and business tycoons, all keen to flaunt their eco-conscious credentials. Social media is abuzz with unboxings and test drive videos, but step outside, and the contrast is glaring. The average Indian commuter is still eyeing a Maruti Suzuki Alto or Tata Tiago, cars that cost a fraction of the price of a Tesla. So what would it take for Tesla to move from luxury niche to mass-market juggernaut? The answer lies in one word: localizations. If Tesla commits to constructing a gigafactory on Indian soil, it could sidestep the punishing import duties and tap into the country's massive base of component suppliers. According to the Automotive Component Manufacturers Association of India, the sector is expected to pour more than $12 billion into electric vehicle manufacturing by the year 2030, including investments in battery production. Localizing production could slash the cost of a Tesla by up to half, transforming it from an elite status symbol to a realistic option for India's burgeoning middle class. Imagine, for a moment, a Tesla for India. A compact, durable electric car specifically engineered for the country's congested, pothole-ridden roads and offered at a price point within reach of the average family. Such a car could incorporate local supply chains, leverage India's deep engineering talent, and partner with homegrown technology firms for seamless integration with Indian digital platforms. This vision is not just wishful thinking. The government's phased manufacturing plan aims to ensure that by the year 2028, a significant portion of electric vehicle parts, batteries, sensors, power electronics, are sourced domestically. The Indian Energy Storage Alliance projects battery storage capacity to reach 132 gigawatt-hours by the end of this decade, propelled by electric vehicle demand and the integration of renewables into the national grid. But the journey from aspiration to reality is fraught with challenges. Infrastructure remains the Achilles heel. While cities like Hyderabad and Pune are piloting fast-charging corridors, the vast swathes of rural and semi-urban India remain largely untouched. This matters because Indian driving patterns are unique. Daily commutes may be short, but periodic long-distance trips are common, often on unpredictable roads. The government is experimenting with innovative solutions, such as battery swapping and vehicle-to-grid, or V2G, technology. Battery swapping could democratize electric vehicle ownership by allowing drivers to exchange depleted batteries for fully charged ones in a matter of minutes, much like filling up at a petrol station. V2G integration envisions electric vehicles as mobile power plants, capable of supplying electricity back to the grid during peak demand, thereby increasing energy resilience. Anil Srivastava, mission director at Niti Aayog, is optimistic. If we standardize battery technologies and promote battery swapping infrastructure, we can bring electric mobility to every segment, from two-wheelers to buses. The Automotive Research Association of India is also working to develop indigenous testing standards for electric vehicles, aligning with global safety and performance benchmarks, a crucial step for building consumer trust. Yet another hurdle is policy uncertainty. India's policymakers are still experimenting with a shifting mix of incentives, subsidies, and penalties. The Ministry of Road Transport and Highways is considering a green tax on older, polluting vehicles, while other ministries debate the scale and duration of electric vehicle subsidies. These frequent changes can cause confusion, disrupt investment plans, and sap industry momentum. Vinay Piparsania, a respected automotive analyst, cautions. India's electric vehicle policy needs to be predictable and stable. Without that, investors may hesitate, and automakers could delay crucial decisions. If Tesla fails to adapt to India's realities, the risk is clear. It could become little more than a badge of exclusivity for the privileged few, irrelevant to the millions dreaming of car ownership. In that case, domestic giants like Tata Motors, Mahindra Electric, and a new breed of electric startups could seize the initiative. These companies have a head start. They understand local preferences, price sensitivities, and distribution challenges. Many are designing affordable, sturdy vehicles suited to India's diverse geography, from the Himalayan foothills to the scorching plains of Rajasthan. Maruti Suzuki, India's largest automaker, has announced plans to electrify its best-selling models, while Ola Electric is rolling out mass-market electric scooters and is rumored to be working on an affordable electric car. On the other hand, if Tesla can localize production quickly, align with India's evolving regulatory framework, and truly listen to the needs of Indian consumers, the rewards could be transformative. India's middle class is set to double in size over the next 10 years, and with rising incomes and urbanization, demand for personal vehicles is expected to surge. According to a recent study, more than two-thirds of Indian electric vehicle shoppers are willing to pay extra for advanced driver assistance systems. A clear sign that innovation is valued, even in a price-sensitive market. This could spur a new wave of competition, with Tesla and its rivals racing to deliver cutting-edge features at unprecedented prices. Imagine a future where over-the-air software updates, semi-autonomous driving, and seamless smartphone integration become standard, not just for the elite, but for the everyday driver. The broader economic implications are profound. If Tesla invests in a large-scale gigafactory in India, it could trigger a cascade of foreign direct investment, create tens of thousands of new jobs, and energize local suppliers. The economic spillover would reach far beyond the auto sector, benefiting industries ranging from steel and electronics to logistics and renewable energy. The auto component sector alone is set to contribute more than $12 billion to electric vehicle manufacturing by the year 2030. With robust local supply chains, India could even become an exporter of electric vehicles and components, competing with established giants in East Asia and Europe. Environmental gains are equally compelling. India's cities routinely rank among the world's most polluted, with vehicle emissions as a major culprit. Accelerating electric vehicle adoption could help alleviate urban air pollution, reduce dependence on imported oil, and slash greenhouse gas emissions. The Indian Railways, the world's fourth-largest rail network, aims to fully electrify its broad-gauge tracks by the year 2028, moving away from diesel engines in favor of cleaner alternatives. Partha Mukhopadhyay, senior fellow at the Center for Policy Research, sees electric vehicles as part of a larger ecosystem. Integrating electric vehicles into the power grid is a win-win. It can stabilize electricity supply and cut carbon emissions. But building a nationwide charging infrastructure is no small feat. It requires unprecedented coordination between government agencies, utility companies, private investors, and real estate developers. India can draw lessons from China, where a massive state-led push created a dense network of charging points and battery supply chains. But India's federal structure means that individual states wield significant power over energy and urban planning policies, adding a layer of complexity. The challenge is to craft policies that encourage innovation while ensuring that infrastructure reaches every corner of the country. Supply chain resilience is another key concern. The global electric vehicle industry has faced repeated shortages of critical materials, semiconductors, rare earth metals, and especially battery minerals. India's heavy reliance on imported battery components exposes it to global shocks and price spikes. Dr. Pawan Goenka, chairman of INSPACE, emphasizes the need for technology partnerships. Building a domestic battery industry and recycling ecosystem is essential for long-term sustainability. Localizing battery manufacturing can reduce costs, protect against supply disruptions, and create green jobs. Looking ahead, the choices that Tesla, Indian policymakers, and homegrown industry leaders make in the next few years will reverberate far beyond the auto sector. They will determine whether India can leapfrog into an era of clean, affordable mobility, or whether it remains stuck in the slow lane. Will Tesla double down on India, build a factory, and slash prices to reach millions of aspiring drivers? Or will it remain confined to a narrow niche, while nimble domestic competitors race ahead? For investors, entrepreneurs, policymakers, and technology enthusiasts, The unfolding electric vehicle story in India offers a front-row seat to the drama of global economics and innovation. The interplay of tariffs, localization, infrastructure, and regulation is a masterclass in the challenges of scaling breakthrough technology in emerging markets. The next decade will see billions of dollars invested, the emergence of new champions, and perhaps a redefinition of what mobility means for the world's largest democracy. For India's consumers, the dream of affordable, green mobility is daunting but not out of reach. The appetite for innovation is unmistakable. The fact that more than two-thirds of prospective electric vehicle owners are willing to pay for advanced features suggests a market on the verge of transformation. With the right blend of policy stability, investment, and technological ingenuity, the vision of an electric car in every Indian garage could become a reality sooner than many expect. Yet there's a twist that few anticipate. India's real electric vehicle revolution may not begin with cars at all already. Electric two-wheelers and buses are quietly reshaping urban mobility. Companies like Ola Electric and Ather Energy are leading the charge, while cities such as Delhi are piloting all-electric bus fleets. These segments are flourishing thanks to lower costs, easier charging solutions, and massive demand for last-mile connectivity. It may well be that a locally designed, affordable Tesla, a compact city car tough enough for India's roads and climate, will mark the true tipping point. Could the world's largest electric vehicle transformation start from the bottom up, powered by scooters, bikes, and buses? As the story unfolds, one thing is clear. The race is wide open. Will Tesla adapt and democratize electric vehicles for India? Or will homegrown innovators seize the moment and outpace the world's most famous electric car maker? The outcome is uncertain, the stakes are enormous, and your perspective matters. Share your views in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe for more in-depth explorations of the forces shaping global economics and technology. The journey of Tesla in India is just beginning, and we'll be tracking